we are still afraid of the Hulk. Fluffy wants to do more than the scary. He wants to make sure he never comes back here again. After a long day of eating seeds, nuts, and once in a while worms and insects, yuck. The moon was so bright and looked like daytime. Fluffy woke me up. We quietly crept out of their nest and flew towards Harry's nest in the big old oak tree. On the way back, we saw some ducks. Since Harry wasn't in his nest, we would have to think of something better to do to him today. After taking a short nap, we flew around looking for rocks. When we got to the hawk's nest, I saw a duck there. I was so surprised to see it alive. It has a few scratches, but it was mostly Fluffy did. And then we started fighting over the rock. I grabbed it in my beak. It was still in her beak. We were pulling it side by side, and it was like a tug of war. I did tell you what happened in this one, the last one, because the rock flew and Fluffy tried to catch it and then I went to try to save the duck, and I didn't know what happened with Fluffy and the rock. After waking up from a long and restful nap, Fluffy and I started to plan a good way to get back at Harry the Hulk. I looked at Fluffy and she had an excited look on her face. I knew she must have a good idea in her. Let's destroy Harry's mind. Let's destroy Harry's nest while he is away looking for food, said Fluffy. Oh, that's a great idea, I said. We can wait for him on his side of the big old oak tree. When we see him leave, we can quickly fly up to his nest. We have to make sure Mommy and Daddy don't find out what we are doing. And we have to make sure the Hulk doesn't fly back while we are doing it, Fluffy said. We can ask Izzy the Ibis to warn us if the Hulk is coming back. You can look for Mommy and Daddy while I go up to the nest. Honk 3 times if Mommy and Daddy come by. Who is this Izzy the Ibis? Is Ollie ready up or anything? I said. Tuffy! I closed the door. Don't you remember Izzy the Ibis? Fluffy said to me. He's the one who helped me escape from the nasty Hulk. Don't you remember? I thought you were the only one who got caught by that horrific Hulk. I said. What about the duck? I know you remember the duck got caught by the terrible Hulk, he said. Oh, Fluffy! Okay, Fluffy. The next morning we headed away in a hurry to find Izzy. To tell him about our ingenious plan. We got anyways. Last we saw Izzy the Ibis eating insects in the grass. When Izzy saw the 2 of us coming, he was so surprised to see me alive. He had a few scratches, but he was mostly okay. He was also very happy. When we told Izzy about our plan, he liked it too a lot. I will be very happy to warn you when the Hulk comes back to her nest, said Izzy. by the way, the hawk is a sea, we both said. It say he. It can't be a he because he's don't lay he eggs that he's. If she lay she eggs that and he legs that he eggs, then well it's a little confusing. But she lay he eggs too. And he stopped laying he eggs. Izzy replied, in that case, I guess you must, said Fluffy. I agreed, but I was starting to have second thoughts about spying on Mommy and Daddy in order to keep them from finding out what we would do. Izzy kept a close eye on the Hulk, and Fluffy flew quietly to the hawk's nest. After waiting about half an hour, the three of us met in the corner of the meadow. What happened, Fluffy? Did you move in the hawk's nest? I said excitedly. Not exactly, said in an embarrassed tone. What do you mean? Not exactly. We messed up the nest. You didn't, said Izzy angrily. Fluffy, there were eggs. There were eggs in the nest. They looked like they were about to hatch. Fluffy said, "Don't destroy the nest. You'll kill the babies. Babies! Fluffy did that. Oh, and I tried to speak, Fluffy. Why not just destroy the nest? It was waiting long enough to get back to the hole, and I couldn't wake those eggs and kill the baby hawks." After hearing Fluffy tell us about the eggs in the nest, Izzy and I agreed that it would be wrong to destroy the nest. We also decided to rename the hawk Howie instead of Howie. Fluffy said, "Maybe we should be peace with the hawk when we can even help fight food with the babies. Food that isn't us!" Everyone agreed to this plan. Izzy went back to looking for juicy insects to eat, and Fluffy and I went back to our nests. We were both tired and hungry. The next day, Fluffy and I went back to the hawk's side of the big old oak tree. Fluffy flew up to the hawk's nest to see how the eggs were doing. While Fluffy was gone, our friend Izzy the Ibis came walking by. "Hi, Fluffy, how are your sister?" Izzy said. She flew up to the hawk's nest. Just then, Fluffy flew back. She had an excited look on her face. Well, Fluffy gets excited, her beak get up and down real fast. She also talked real fast. "Guess what? The eggs hatched as a baby also." "What?" Fluffy said excitedly. "While I was watching them, one of the babies was about to fall out of the nest. I helped it back into the nest with my beak. Thank me, said that I was a wonderful queen. They couldn't understand why their mother wanted to eat us. The promised me that they would tell their mother around like Nina would know it's going to make friends with us." He sometimes said that instead of they. Later that day, Harriet flew back to her nest with a dead rabbit in her claws. The baby hawks were very hungry and enjoyed being fed by their mother. After their hunger was satisfied, the littlest babies said, "Mommy, earlier this day, the crane Fluffy saved me from falling out of this nest. If it wasn't for her, I would have fallen out of this nest and would be dead. One of the other babies said, we should make friends with the Crane family because they were so good to us. The mother hawk said, I am happy that Fluffy saved your life, but we're raptors, and raptors don't make friends with other birds or mammals. They try to capture them and eat them for food. You don't become friends with your food. The other baby hawk said, but Fluffy saved Little Lord's life. Little life. We can't eat Fluffy. Well, Fluffy and Tuffy and even that silly Izzy the ibis are too big for us to eat. But we can't because they're friends either. We are proud raptors, and raptors just are not friendly birds. It's important that other animals be afraid of us. Otherwise, we're not raptors. We're raptors. Coming soon. Now back to the book. The next day, Fluffy and I were talking in the wetland when Izzy flew by. We started talking about the hawk family. Izzy said, I wonder if the baby hawks persuaded Harriet to be friends with us, Fluffy said. I probably did after I did to save the life of her baby. I agreed that she would probably become a friend. Just then, Harriet flew up to us. We didn't know whether to run or stay. Hawks always have a scary appearance. Don't worry, I'm not going to eat you, she said. Then she looked at Fluffy and said, thank you for saving my youngest baby. It was such a nice thing for you to do. When I got back to the nest, my baby said I should become friends with you. Izzy said, we would be happy to become your friends. I would like to become friends with you, but we are raptors, not paptors. And raptors are not the kind of animals that can become friends with other birds. It is just not acceptable with the raptor community. We will be the laughingstock of our neighborhood. But I will never eat you or treat you badly. After saying this, Harriet the hawk flew away.